Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Anik, and today we're going to be talking about why hiring a marketer is different. Now, first of all, I'd like to thank you for bringing your lunch and spending your half hour with me. I know time is valuable when you're running a business, so today this isn't a workshop where I'm going to throw frameworks and templates and worksheets at you. This is going to be something much simpler. This is a clarity session, because if hiring a marketer is somewhere on your roadmap this year, there are really only two useful outcomes for today. Either you leave thinking, yes, we're ready to hire, or you leave thinking, actually, there are a few things that we should tighten first. And both of those outcomes are good, because what founders don't often realize is that hiring your first marketer isn't like hiring any other role in your business. It's personal. This is your business. You've been growing this business. You've invested a lot of time in this business. You've developed its values, its personality, and now you're handing it over to something else. It's a hire that's very personal. But also, it's not like hiring a developer or a salesperson or operations. It's different. And if you treat it like a normal hire, it often goes wrong. And today, I want to explain why that happens. Now, just a little bit about me. As I said, my name is Anik, and I'm a marketing hire and onboarding consultant. I'm a wife, I'm a mum, I'm a bridge between two countries, and I like to take and relate to what I learn in everyday life as a mum, and also what I learn between mixing two very different cultures and how two very different cultures work, one being British and the other Italian. Very different. And I've had 25 years in marketing, and I've always been the first marketer going into growing businesses when I worked and spent my career in PAYE. And I've been brought in on the other side as well, been brought in later to fix things when that first hire didn't quite work. So I've seen both sides of this. I've seen the founder side, and I've also seen the marketer side. And I've seen brilliant founders accidentally set up amazing marketers to fail. And it's not because they've done it deliberately. It's not anybody's fault. It's because the structure around the role wasn't there yet. And this is the gap that I help businesses solve. I help founders and business owners prepare properly before hiring their first marketer, so that marketing becomes the growth driver of the business instead of the expensive gamble. So let me start by asking you a question. If your business grows to the point where sales alone can't carry it anymore, what is the logical next step? Now, most founders and business owners will say, oh, we should hire a marketer. And that makes perfect sense. But here's the uncomfortable truth. Hiring your first marketer is actually a high risk inflection point in the company. And when it goes well, it unlocks growth. You achieve where you want to go. But when it goes badly, you can lose 6 to 12 months a significant chunk of budget. You can lose market share, you can watch your competitors pass you, and more importantly, you can lose your belief in marketing altogether. And here's the part that surprises founders the most. Most first marketing hires, they don't fail because the marketer is bad. They fail because the business wasn't ready for them yet. And this is the difference that we're going to unpack today. Because one of my main aims is to end the belief in some businesses that marketing doesn't work for us. And that statement is not a thing. I mean, if marketing didn't work, Coca-Cola wouldn't spend billions of dollars on marketing. I mean, it's not like Coca-Cola needs to be recognized anymore. It's everybody around the globe recognizes Coca-Cola, and it's had one of the most famous marketing campaigns in the history of marketing, which has borne Santa Claus and the red and white suit. And so, but Coca-Cola spend money on marketing because they know it works, and they know it doesn't work for me because it just isn't a thing. So let me tell you a story. A few years ago, I joined a company as their first marketer. The founder was brilliant, the product was solid, the team was talented. And on my first day, the founder said something that sounded perfectly reasonable. He said, "We've been waiting for somebody like you. We're excited to finally have marketing, and we're really open to being guided." Now, that sounds on the surface really supportive, right? But what it actually meant was there were no defined business goals to be able to set marketing objectives on. Sales and marketing had never worked together, so no one had agreed what a good lead looked like, nor had they agreed what a marketing qualified lead would be and what a sales qualified lead would be. And their expectations were a little bit flexible. So, in other words, they had hired the person before defining the environment that person needed to succeed in. And that situation is incredibly common. And over time, I've started noticing patterns, the same problems showing up again and again. And today, I'm going to walk you through the three most common problems that I've seen. And first up, we have treating marketing just like another hire. Most roles in a company work like this. You hire somebody with skills, you give them space, they deliver. Marketing doesn't work like that. Marketing is more like hiring a conductor for an orchestra. The conductor doesn't create the music alone. They coordinate instruments, timing, rhythm, collaboration, and marketing works in the same way. It relies on inputs from leadership, sales, customer service, product, finance. And if those connections aren't clear, marketing becomes disconnected from the business. It becomes disconnected from reality. And when that happens, even a great marketer can struggle, because most marketing outcomes are reliant on inputs that marketing doesn't control. And it's marketing and it's those departments that I've just listed that drive those inputs, and marketing needs those inputs. It cannot exist in a silo. And this leads me on to the next problem number 2. And you've probably seen this, you may have already written one, and it's really easy to do, and that is the marketing unicorn job description. Now, back in the day when I first started my career and I did my first qualification, we learnt about advertising. So TV, cinema, outdoor, radio, print, PR, direct mail, and sales promotion. And that was it. These days, marketing, the list of marketing disciplines is as long as my arm. I think I kind of lost count when I went past 20. And so it's really easy to not understand what you need. And one of the things you need, and something that I bang on about all the time that people, they don't get bored, but they hear me say it a lot, is business goals. And I don't mean just any business goals like, oh, in the next year we want to hit 1 million. You need to be specific about those business goals. Okay, so you want to hit 1 million. So where is that revenue going to come from? Is there a product you want to grow? Is there a geographic region you want to grow in? Are you entering a new target audience? Do you want to increase your retention? Do you want to increase your lifetime value? Understand exactly what it is you want from your business goals. And then you can create a job description. Because otherwise, if you don't understand your business goals, and I don't know whether you've done this before, it's like going shopping for food when you're starving. You go into the supermarket, you buy lots of stuff, and when you get home and unpack the bags, you realise you've not actually bought anything that can make anything. So you've bought all this lovely stuff, but you can't create a dish from it. And that's a little bit like creating a marketing job description if you don't quite understand your goals. You put a lot of stuff in it, and it might not be what you need. And oftentimes it includes strategy, content marketing, demand generation, brand, PR, events, product marketing, and analytics, SEO, paid ads. But the list could go on. And that's all in one role, when actually, if you look at it, there are about 4 different roles within that. And generally, that job description would usually be paired with a salary that would realistically cover 1/3 of that. And when founders do this, they're not describing just a single job, they're describing multiple careers. And it's because the businesses didn't take the time to prioritize what they wanted marketing to actually achieve first. And without these priorities, everything ends up in the job description. And the result is either someone very junior who gets overwhelmed, or someone very confident who oversells their ability. And neither scenario ends well. And problem 3, and this is the big one. Founders often say things like, we want to grow awareness, we want to generate demand. This is what they feel defining success is. But the more important is, what does that success actually look like? What does more awareness actually look like? What does generating demand actually look like? Because you need to understand what success looks like in the first 30, 60, 90 days. Without this, the answer is often unclear and it becomes guesswork. And good marketers want clarity so they can drive results, so they can meet expectations, and without it they're forced to guess. And guessing inside the business is expensive. It's where friction comes in. It's where tensions start to build between the marketer and the founder, because the success in the first 30, 60, 90 days hasn't been defined. The expectations haven't been laid out, and maybe the marketer isn't meeting the expectations that the founder had. So, and it can be really difficult to understand what your expectations are, and it can be very difficult to understand what realistic success looks like in that first time period. But those first 3 months of any marketing hire are so important. They are the make and the break of that role. So it is really important that expectations are down and they're clear, and the success over that time period is well defined. And it's really normal that founders and business owners don't quite understand what their expectations are, but there are exercises that you can do to help you understand that, to help you understand what your expectations are. You're also going to have expectations that come up along the way as well, because we can't cover anything. So it is a lot about how you communicate those expectations, because it's really important that in those first 90 days, as the founder, as the business owner, as part of the leadership team, you don't disappear. You are there to communicate, to be there to answer questions, to help that marketer understand what those expectations are and what the success is in those first 90 days. So if those are the common problems, what is the underlying mistake? What is the one thing that sits underneath almost all of them? And the biggest mistake is that founders and business owners, they focus on who to hire before they define why they're hiring them. And it's a little bit like hiring a chef without deciding what restaurant you're running. Are you running a Michelin star restaurant? Is it a cafe? Is it a street food store? Because all those three, they require completely different skill sets from the chef. And marketing is the same. The right hire depends entirely on things like business goals. See, I'm saying it again. So really properly understand and define your business goals. What exactly is it you want to grow, and where and from whom in the next year? Your growth stage. So what you need from a marketer as a startup SaaS would be very different from what you need from a marketer as like a more mature business who's been trading for the last 3, 4, 5 years. So the growth stage of your business is really important. So your sales model as well. Are you online? Are you offline? Are you a mixture of both? Is your product delivered online? What's the actual sales model? What's the actual sales process of it? And then there's product maturity. So is this product a new product to market? Is it one that's been around? Do you need early adopters? Where is your product in the whole maturity spectrum? And then is available budget. So how much do you have to spend, because that will impact on who you need to hire or how you need to hire. For example, there you could hire a marketing lead, or somebody a little bit different might hire a marketing exec with a fractional support. So your available budget is crucial. And it's not just the budget on salary, it's the budget that you've got for marketing itself. So for the campaigns that need to be run, the marketing output that needs to be created, the tools that they need to create to deliver that. And without that context, you can't define the role properly. And that's when founders start saying things like, happy to be directed by the new hire, which sounds flexible, but what it actually means is we're not sure what this role should be. And that puts enormous pressure on the person that you hire. So what needs to exist before you write the job description? You don't need a full marketing strategy. You don't need a 50-page document, but there are a few foundations that should be in place. And this is things like, again, clarity on business goals. I told you I bang on about it all the time. Clarity on business goals. What growth are you trying to unlock? Then alignment with sales. Alignment with sales is really important. Sales and marketing, and if you have customer service, those three departments that really need to work close together. They need to feed into each other to make the whole customer journey from prospect to mature client really smooth. And you need to understand what a good lead looks like. What's a marketing qualified lead? What's a sales qualified lead? What makes it good? And how does the feedback flow between the departments? You need to understand your expectations, and you need to understand whether or not they're realistic or not. And there are a few ways, as I said before, that you can actually discover what your expectations are if you're unsure, because lots of people think that marketing is a bit magic. It's a discipline that's really misunderstood. I mean, not even my husband understands what I do, but there are ways that things that you can do to help you understand what your expectations are, and what can one marketer actually achieve in the first 3 to 6 months. Not what you think or what you want them to achieve, but what they can realistically achieve. And collaboration, and going on about collaboration again, I go on about collaboration a lot as well. Do you have the right collaboration within the business? I mean, there needs to be a collaboration between marketing, between sales, between customer service, between leadership, between product, between finance, because they all need to work together and feed into each other. Because as I spoke about previously, marketing don't own their outputs. Marketing outputs are reliant on inputs from other departments, because they can't exist in a silo. Well, they can, but they won't achieve the growth and the greatness that you're looking for. It is a team sport, marketing. Like building a business is a team sport. I mean, great businesses are built by great people working together for and towards a common goal. And finally, and lastly, a simple onboarding roadmap. Because expecting a marketer to create impact without context, they're just not gonna get there. They might, but if you create the context, if you map out your expectations, if you're clear on what success looks like, marketing will succeed, because structure matters. And without structure, it can fall apart. So here's a little quick self-check that you can do, just a few simple check questions that you can ask yourself if you're thinking about hiring this year. Can you clearly explain what success looks like after 90 days? So what do you need them to achieve in the first 90 days for you to go, yes, that's the right hire, they're great, we're going the right way? What must marketing achieve for the business? Now this is an important one. This is the goals. I keep banging on about them. I will never stop banging on about them. So what do they need to achieve for the business? How will sales and marketing work together? And lastly, and very importantly, what decisions will the marketer own? Will they be able to prioritize your priorities? Will they be able to set messages? Will they be able to challenge you on some of the things that you want marketing to do? What decisions will they own? And if you're not unsure of the answers about any of them, if they feel a little bit fuzzy, then it's not a failure. It is simply a sign that just means that there's a little bit of groundwork that is worth doing first. So let me leave you with this question. What's the biggest uncertainty you have about hiring a marketer? It shouldn't feel like a gamble. Hiring a marketer, you should feel confident, and it should feel like a well-timed decision. And when the foundations are right, it will do. But when the structure isn't there yet, even a great marketer will struggle, and it's frustrating for everybody. And I help businesses to create those foundations first. So when they do hire, everybody succeeds, everybody's happy, everybody's driving towards common goals. So if hiring a marketer is on your roadmap this year, I'd encourage you to sense check your readiness first. That might mean asking better questions, tightening a few things internally, or defining the role more clearly. And if today has sparked any questions, I'm very happy to chat. Drop me a message, come and have a 10-minute marketing readiness chat with me. And of course, bring your own questions now. Thank you very much. I've been Anik. I'm going to stop the recording now so I can answer all your questions privately.